감사합니다. Hi everyone, Margarita here, and I will be your K-drama queen for today. And man, I have not done these in such a long time, but honestly, I've just been waiting for this one K-drama that would take me by surprise and make me really want to talk about it, and it has happened, guys. The drama is here, and we're talking about it. And of course, it is no other than the Korean adaptation of the incredibly popular American series, Suits. Hence, I'm so dressed up today. Never mind, it still has little ladybugs on it. Ah, so cute! But first and foremost, the spoiler alert today is going to be slightly different depending if you actually have seen the American version of Suits or if you haven't. If you have, honestly, there really aren't any spoilers for you at all in the Korean version. So even if you haven't seen the Korean Suits, proceed without caution. But if you haven't seen any version of the Suits, then yeah, proceed at your own discretion. And with that, let's get started. My overall impression of the drama was mixed. I enjoyed it. I've watched all the 16 episodes and it was a good experience. But I'm not quite sure if it was good because I continuously kept comparing it to the American version, or if it was just a good Korean drama on its own. It was very hard for me to separate myself from the love and bias I have for the American version of Suits. I have been a die-hard fan for a very, very long time of that drama. I mean, TV series. Sorry, been watching too many Korean dramas. In terms of the plot, what I really, really enjoyed is how cohesive it was and how smooth it ended up being, even though pretty much all 7 seasons of the current American TV show was all bunched up into 16 episodes. It didn't feel choppy, it didn't feel like something was missing or certain storylines weren't fully developed. Everything was incredibly cherry-picked, where only the most exciting and the most interesting aspects of the American version were included in the Korean version, so that was a pleasure to watch. I didn't get distracted, or I didn't feel like, oh, you know, they missed something here, or why is this happening here? And they put their own Korean twist on it. I loved seeing the cultural differences between the two series. Of course, we can't ignore how PG the Korean version was. Everything was a lot more mellowed down, innocent, and honestly, that's what I love about Korean TV shows, and that's why I continue watching it since I was a young teenager. I feel like I will forever be able to watch Korean dramas no matter what, whether I have kids or grandkids or pets or anything. They're so family friendly. You can watch pretty much 95% of Korean dramas together with a family, with my own parents or me as a parent in the future. No problem at all. American TV, I feel like I can only watch Disney cartoons at this point in time. Also, I feel like this is the first time a Korean production team decided to take on an American TV show and bring it to Korea, Koreanize it, and put their own spin on it. I mean, at this pace, we might as well see Game of Thrones Koreanized, and yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna be happening. I don't even see how it's possible to mellow it down and make it more innocent. Yeah, scratch that. But seriously, this was so refreshing from a Korean point of view. This was something else. I've never seen a legal drama with this American feel to it before, and it was quite refreshing. Last thing about the plot is, of course, my first and last episode check. Those of you who have seen my K-Drama Queen episodes, you guys know I judge a drama by its first and last episode mostly, because if I don't like the first episode, I'm not gonna continue watching it, and if I don't like the last episode, no matter how brilliant it was at the beginning, it'll just leave a sour aftertaste. So, with this specific drama, the first episode, to be honest, was a little boring at the beginning. But I do believe I have an explanation for it. I feel like the first episode of the American version was just so dynamic and out there, smack bang in your face, like all these things are happening and you're just there at the edge of your seat trying to keep up. Whereas in the Korean version, it was very mellow, very slow. Most of the action, if you can even call it action, was just lawyers sitting down and talking. Not the best beginning for this type of drama, in my opinion. But I do understand that the way TV series get produced in Korea is fundamentally different to the way it is done in the US. In Korea, it gets approved all from the very beginning, so you don't really need to put as much effort, quote unquote, into the first episode as you would in America, the pilot episode, you know, people are not sure if it's gonna work out or not, fall through or not, is it gonna get funding? So that's why I feel like most of the first episodes of TV series in America are just super exciting and super different and dynamic due to the industry standards, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. In terms of the last episode, I didn't have any issues with it, and that's kind of surprising for me because the one storyline that was not fully finished at the end was whether Yeon Woo and Jina were going to get back together. Are they reconciling? Did she wait for him while he was in prison? We don't know all these details, but interestingly, I didn't even think about that at the very end. All I was focused on is this amazing bromance that was happening. So speaking of the relationship between Korean Harvey and Korean Mike, let me get into the characters. Oh boy. Should I hit you straight with the things that I didn't like, or should I be nice and start with things that I liked? Let's start with the male characters, because I feel like I enjoyed those slightly more than the female ones. Mike. Korean Mike. Park Hyung-sik. Oh, I love this actor. He's amazing. I've seen him in so many dramas, and all the time he's blown me away with how natural he appears on camera. But in terms of his role in Suits, I just felt like he was so perfectly casted for the role of Korean Mike. He has this youthful, innocent face. He is so good at acting, you know, naive and eager to change the world, but then at the same time being all broken on the inside and cute and adorable. Just perfect. Honestly, I could not have thought of a better Mike. By the way, if any of you guys thought of any other Korean actors that you felt fit better into the American roles of Harvey, Mike, Donna, whatever, do let me know in the comments. I really am curious, because I've had a few ideas of mine which I'm not gonna let you know until you comment in the comment section, and we'll have a discussion. So let's do it. In terms of Korean Harvey, to be completely honest, I was very surprised when I saw Jang Dong-gun playing that role. Straight away, I didn't feel any Harvey vibes. But of course it makes sense because Harvey in the American version is just sex appeal in a bottle. Whereas in Korean version, of course, Harvey had to be dimmed down in that realm. I didn't dislike it, to be honest. He was such a good mentor figure. He was so absolutely incredible at acting. Oh my god, those rage-filled eyes. In the episode when Mike got discovered, he just turns around and they're bloodshot and his muscles in the face are twitching and he's just about to blow up. That was, I had to take a breather there. It was so intense. All I'm gonna say is that Korean Harvey was fundamentally different than the American one, but not bad different. It was good different. The one character I surprisingly liked more in the Korean version than in the American version was Hardman. The Korean Hardman, or you know, the overall villain of the series in Korea, was so well executed. The casting was done really well. He looked like half gangster, half this super strong and unapologetic kind of person, like a cutthroat shark. In the American version, when I first saw Hardman, I was like, oh, what a cute little grandpa. And I know I say that as because of our age difference, I see him as quite old, but I don't know, the aura around him just didn't fit the kind of cunning and sly character. Wow, I have a really long track record of enjoying villains in dramas. So now let's talk about Korean Lois. The actor, I felt, did a really good job. It looked like he executed exactly what the writers wanted him to do. But I also feel like the way the writers portrayed Korean Lois was so unidimensional in comparison to the multifacetedness of the American Lois character. American Lois is my most hated and loved character of all times in all TV shows in any country ever. I don't understand how it is possible to love and hate a character, a fictional character, as much as I do with American Lois. He blows my mind every time he goes on screen because I just have no idea if he's gonna pull something I'm gonna hate or if he's gonna do something I'm gonna love. And this complicatedness of his character is what makes it so rich and deep, and I felt like in the Korean version, Lois was just portrayed as this really strange, weird, antisocial guy who everybody hates, no one respects, no one gives a time of day. At a point in time, I pitied him. And I didn't want to do that because Lois in the American TV series, I never pitied him. I was angry at him, I was upset, I wanted to rip his face or, you know, hug him and was grateful for him at times. So many different emotions, but I never pitied him. So that was kind of the fundamental difference. Moving on to the female cast. Oh boy. Who do I start with? Actually, I felt really strange when there was a point in a Korean drama where it looked like the Korean Lois had a crush on Korean Jessica, and that was just so cringe and weird and crazy. I'll insert the scene somewhere here so you guys can see, but man, I was just like, what? Am I misunderstanding something? There was no other indication of that ever after that in the series, but oh, thank God. So cringe. So speaking of Jessica, once again, I felt like the Korean version fell short of the expectations that were set up by the American character. She was so strong in the American version. She was such a cutthroat, ruthless, and at times seemingly cold woman. And it made sense because that's how you get to the top of the best law firm in New York, especially as a woman, especially as a black woman. So there was just so much power to her aura in the American version that the Korean version just fell short of that. And it was not the fault of the actress. I felt like once again the actress just delivered what the writers told her, and I'm sorry I'm bashing on the writers so much, but I just feel like it's unfair to criticize the actors because we don't know if they're actually fulfilling exactly what they've been told. So I usually just bash the writers, sorry. But I just felt like she was so fidgety and jumpy and always worried, and she had no strength to her in the Korean version, that I was asking myself, how did she manage to get to the top of a law firm with that type of personality? She just didn't look confident. She looked like she was so easily swayed. I mean, another firm dangles a merger in front of you and you just jump at it without any consideration for it. I mean, it happened in the American version too, but still Jessica maintained her strength there. So yeah, I was just not impressed. Similarly, and it breaks my heart, I was not impressed by the Korean Donna either. It hurts me so much to say that because the American Donna is my spirit animal. She is everything I want to be in life. She is everything I look up to. I want to look like her, act like her, be her, just breathe her. She is incredible. And I felt nothing of that sort to the Korean version. The Korean Donna was a great secretary who was always there for Korean Harvey. She was loyal, she committed a crime for him, she even had feelings for him, which of course were not developed in the Korean version, considering how older characters never really get any romance in Korean dramas. I wonder why. But yeah, Donna just had so much depth and fearlessness and this fire to her character. It wasn't just her red hair, she was just a blob of fire. Okay, blob was not the right term I wanted to use. She was a, what's the word for a fire? She was a spark. There you go. Every time she'd walk into the room, everyone's eyes are on her, and I felt like that just did not translate to the Korean Donna. And I understand these kinds of women are different in Korean society, which I would argue that they still exist, and it's still quite a popular stereotype in Korean society for women too, so I wasn't sure why they dimmed her down so much. The banter as well between Donna and Harvey in the Korean version was just nowhere near the banter that was happening in the American version. I mean, I was on the floor at sometimes laughing. Even though I was watching it in Korean and I was trying to really understand the Korean humor too, it wasn't really funny to me. I was very let down. But again, the actress did a really good job. I thought she was trying to be Donna sometimes, but something was restricting her, and I'm not sure if it was the writers or something else. The last female character, I feel like I have the least amount of things to say because she was just alright, you know? She was there. It was the Korean Rachel, Gina. She was kind of the typical female protagonist, like a young female protagonist in a Korean drama. Pretty, cute, feisty at times, quite clingy, a little bit needy, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. In terms of production, I feel like there is not much I can say. The director of photography, I felt like, picked really good angles, really nice vision of how this drama was supposed to be, and I feel like because it's a legal drama, everything was very standard in terms of kind of the shots and the points of views that were chosen for certain scenes and the angles and lighting and everything. It was up to a very good high standard. In terms of soundtracks, really liked all of them. I thought the mellow ones were very sweet and heartwarming. I might actually make a cover of one of them, so if you have any suggestions, comment section is yours. And of course, my favorite one was the bromance theme. It just had so much drive and energy to it. Lastly, miscellaneous little things that either surprised me or shocked me or made me go like, what? In terms of something that I didn't like a lot, Korean Donna's outfits. I understand they were trying to Donnify the Korean actress and the Korean character, but it failed so badly because in the American version, Donna, yes, she wears bright colors and bold designs and oh my god, I want to own all of her dresses, but they're still professional. She's still a legal secretary. She always looks 100% on point, whereas the Korean Donna, like, don't even get me started on the last episode where she showed up in literally brown summer shorts and some green and white or yellow and white top, just a shirt with a collar. It was so unprofessional and I can never imagine this is something a legal secretary would wear. I understand they tried to make her edgy or maybe show that she wears whatever she wants to the office, but no, not a good wardrobe choice at all. None of her wardrobes I liked. They were strange and not in a good fashion way strange, just blatantly strange, in my opinion. Comparing, sorry, once again to the American Donna. And lastly, in terms of a little hiccup in the plot for me, I felt like the writers at the very end, in order to expose Hardman and all the bad deeds that he did, they kind of decided to go the easy route, like, oh, he just trusts Go-Yeon-Woo so much that he's gonna send him to a guy that knows all of his secrets and can expose him so easily, get that information and then bring it to him without exposing that information to anyone. Like, it just seemed very strange when Go-Yeon-Woo just walks in with the files he received from that CEO and just plops it on the computer, bam, it's on a big screen, he's exposed, done. There was no suspense or build-up or anything. So this looked like, in reality, a character like Hardman would never allow that to happen because he just doesn't trust people so much because he himself is such a slippery fish. So yeah, that was my little 5 cents on that little plot hiccup. Otherwise, I feel like I have exhausted everything I have to say about this TV show. Let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy it? Did you compare it to the American TV show? Did you manage not to? Because if you did, please let me know how, because I just couldn't. Otherwise, this is the end of today's review. Let me know if there are any other amazing dramas that you guys are currently watching that I should also jump onto and see if I can review them. The comment section is all yours. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. You're being productive, you're being happy, you're loved, and you're laughing and you're smiling, and that's all that matters to me. So I will see you all sometime really soon. Bye! Annyeong!